Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Christina.
And this is our podcast,
Let's Chew the Fat. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the new episode of our Let's Chew the Fat podcast. Today we have another interview. Her name is Anna. And again, we talked about living abroad, the struggles that come with it, but also why it's great, in our opinion, our unbiased opinion. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. And now I think we have to talk about the 5 seconds of summer concert.
I think this weekly recap is gonna be just the 5 seconds of our concert.
So it was on Sunday.
Yes. And we bought these tickets a while back, and we, from the get-go, first of all, the tickets, I think we talked about that then. It was a struggle. We almost didn't get them. Thanks to Christina just refreshing the page over and over again. We got them.
Yes.
And from the get-go, we were set on, we were going to try to get to the front.
Mm-hmm.
Did we succeed? No.
I mean, I just can't comprehend a whole Sunday in general.
Yeah. I mean, we got there, we decided to, get there at 2, which the doors open at 6:30. The concert was supposed to start at 8.
You know, I saw somebody say that they didn't open the door until 8.
Yeah,
I guess
saw that
that's
too.
why we were standing in line and not moving.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they opened the doors when the concert was supposed to start, and they also had an open act, so obviously that was all messed up. They didn't start until 9, but it was fine. But by the time we got there, they were already just, I don't know how to describe this. It was just people camping on the sidewalk, basically, and it was
on
already
the streets.
Yeah, quite a good amount of people. And I mean, the anxiety levels were high from then on, but we found a spot. We hung out there. I feel like we were definitely in the further half.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we were doing well, considering we came there at 1:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And the concert the doors were supposed to be open at 6:30, so we were there 5 hours early. And wait, is that 5 hours?
More or less, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 5 hours.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that the math is mathing. And so we were there quite early, I thought, because usually if I go to a concert, I come 1 or 2 hours early. But to be fair, it's true that I haven't been to such a huge concert inside a venue.
And with that type of fan base. You know, we were thinking before, we were we need to take into consideration, we're in Spain. How much is Spain 5 Seconds of Summer? We need to take into consideration that this is the fan base, 5 Seconds of Summer, One Direction, the most dedicated fan base ever. There's a lot of factors that come into play. And people were dedicated.
I mean, we saw TikToks saying that people were there at 7 a.m.
And they weren't in the front.
No,
they
there were
100
people.
rows.
Yeah.
Ahead
That's
of them.
insane. I just don't understand the dedication. I guess it would have never occurred to me to get there so early, but I guess it's just because I don't have an experience. From now on, I will know that if I go to One Direction concert one day when they get back together,
which we will.
I will have to basically spend the night there.
Well, 100%. I mean, if One Direction gets back together and they do a tour, you'll have to start camping a week before.
That's
gonna be, if you get the tickets, that's gonna be a whole issue.
Yeah. But to be fair, the waiting part before, these 5 hours, they flew by. I was so scared that we're gonna be too hot because the weather was kind of hot, but our outfits, we were trying to go for
a
vibe, and also so we're not cold, we're not warm, whatever. I was scared we're gonna be hungry, we're gonna be bored, we're gonna be uncomfortable, everything, and it was fine.
Yeah.
We were well equipped. We had a lot of food, a lot of water.
And we're very entertaining.
Yeah, of course.
So
it was literally flying by. It just went by so fast. So I was really happy about that. Also, we got a spot in the shade, which was also nice. So we weren't hot or anything. And then, I mean, the longest part, what felt like the longest was when we all got up, the line kind of
At 6:30 when the doors were supposed to open,
Yeah.
everybody kind of got up and then we stood in the line for another hour.
Yeah, which was only an hour, so 5 times less, but it felt like forever because we were excited. We thought we were just gonna get in. We were also stressed about like getting inside and getting good spots. But in the end, we had nice spots.
We were kind of, I don't know.
I think we were in the like middle of the standing
pit.
area.
Yeah.
The pit, yeah.
And it's also amazing because like the people walking by, like the people who lived in that neighborhood, they're like confusion as to why the hell all of these people were sitting on the sidewalk.
So many people came talk to us, like ask what's happening, like why are you standing here, and it was so cute.
One woman I think thought we were 13 because she started talking about how like this is amazing, the commitment, and how when she was 13 she wanted to go to some concert, but somehow she would have had to go with parents whatsoever, and so we should enjoy it. I was like, we're not quite 13. I was 13 a decade ago, but yeah, everybody was super sweet. And the concert itself, I mean, how do you put it into words? We're all just like in this weird, like I have not been able to be productive, or honestly, I can't do anything for an extended period of time without going back and watching the videos or listening to their music. I don't know why my head is still stuck there, and I feel like we're all kind of in this weird like,
you know what,
post-concert depression.
I looked at the video of like filming us when they came on, and I cried. I cried, and let me tell you, like I was a 5 Sauce fan, yes, but like I wasn't. I mean, to be fair, like I realized I don't follow almost anyone on like social media, even like artists, because like I like so many artists these days that it would be just overwhelming. And also I realized that it's not too much fun to follow them because they don't really post too much.
No, they used to.
Yeah.
Like 2014.
So, I mean, Luis Capaldi's TikTok is the best thing.
I mean, he's still doing well. He's still doing well.
So, I don't like really follow people. I don't think I knew their names. Like now I'm very educated.
You didn't know their names?
I don't know because I don't know. I listen to them.
She's here for the music.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. Now I'm obsessed. But so I didn't expect to like our friends like Sofia and Laura, they were saying, oh, I know I'm gonna have this like quote unquote post-concert depression. And I was just like, huh. You know, I was like,
she thought she was better than all of us.
I truly did not expect this, but do you know what I think? I think it was 50% them and 50% like you guys. Because like it was such like a nice experience.
That's what you mean.
No.
I thought you meant we dragged you down.
No. Like a positive experience. Like I had such a nice time, like with you waiting there, with you in the concert. Because like I told you, like back home, I don't have a lot of people that would love concerts and that would love with me.
This much.
Exactly. Yeah. So now being 4 people, 4 people, this excited and like just enjoying the experience. It was amazing.
No, it was honestly one of the most incredible concert experience I've ever. And I was standing there, you know. I've been to like a couple of their concerts before, and my first ever concert was 5 Seconds of Summer, and I always thought like, maybe I'm biased, you know, because maybe I just think their concerts are so great because like they were some of my first concerts or whatever. But I was standing there and I was just looking at the stage. I was just there and I was like, this is like honestly does not compare to any other concert. Yeah. Like they're really good at this. And I don't know what it is.
Me neither. But it was amazing.
Because it wasn't like there was no, I mean, it was a great show, great production, but like nothing
special, right?
And still, it was so incredibly special.
I don't know why. But yeah, so now we're in this like weird phase where we just want to just read and listen to their music and watch the videos from the concert. Like literally multiple times a day. Not even our videos. Like I go on TikTok and watch like other people's videos.
I'll take whatever. Yeah, the girl who was in the front row, I want to see the concert from her perspective. Yeah. Of course. The girl who was up in the seats, I want to see it from her perspective.
Yeah. And it's just crazy to me how obsessed we are right now. Like let me tell you, I am being completely honest, I did not expect this at all.
I kind of did. But still, you know? No, it was great.
So that's our rant about 5 Seconds of Summer. Love them. If you still can't go to a concert, just go.
Just go, honestly.
Just go. You know, I had a thought when I saw that they're like I think they were in Portugal. That
You wanted to fly out.
I was like, oh, we should fly somewhere and see another concert.
Honestly, another thing that I was gonna say and that I just forgot.
I was saying this was our rant about 5 Seconds of Mars. We were talking about the. You know, I literally saw a TikTok about.
People always make that joke, and you made it without meaning to. Oh, I had a really good point. Oh, yes. Here we go. Here we go. Also, another thing that brought me a lot of joy is they hadn't come to Spain in a while. And I don't think they thought they had a really strong fan base here. And I don't think they thought they would like sell out the concert. I don't think they thought it would be like people would really like sing along or whatever. But it was the most incredible crowd. It was very full. I don't know if it was sold out, but I mean, it was full.
Well, it must have been, no? Because we had issues getting the tickets.
But we were in the pre-sale.
Oh.
And everybody was singing every word. And they just seemed so, like, genuinely surprised by how excited everybody was. And, like, genuinely, like, happy about how excited we were. And they said, like, oh, we will make sure to, like, come back next time around. And I think they genuinely meant that. I feel like they were like, wow, we need to come here more. Like, we have people here who love our music. So I just wanted to mention that. Very proud, very proud.
I could just talk about this forever, but I don't want to bore people. So let's leave the concert here. Also, why Lauren is in a tank top and I am wearing this hoodie, you know, tied around my neck. I probably got a little bit of cold from the AC or something. Honestly, I don't know. But I'm a little tiny bit sicky. So that's why I look like this. Just for people who are watching, as I always say. So
yeah. We really enjoyed getting to talk to somebody else who's living a similar experience to us and kind of talking about the ups and the downs. So we hope you enjoy this other perspective too. Yeah, we loved getting to ask her all of our questions. So we'll get right into that now. So, welcome to our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. And maybe to start off, you could briefly introduce yourself, where you're from, where you're living now, just the basic information.
Yes, okay. Hi. Nice to meet you both. So, I'm living in Prague this year. Christina, she's laughing. I think you are from Czech Republic, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And I was last year I was in France. This year I am in Czech Republic and I work there as physicist in a company. That's all what I do. I enjoy Prague. I really like this city. It's so easy. You can do easily everything there from early morning till night. Like it's easy to go out, come back home. Transportation, everything is amazing. So yeah, that's all. And next year I will go to France again. I will go to Marseille. I will do my PhD there. So from last year, I was like, I'm just moving from place to place. You know, I was one semester in Paris. After I was in Lille, in North France. After I moved to Prague, and I will go again to Marseille. So.
And where are you originally from?
Greece. I'm from Greece. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I was there. I studied there physics for 6 years, something like that. And after I moved to France for my master. Yes.
And where did this whole like idea and motivation come from to study abroad in so many countries and cities?
Actually, the first idea, because after when I was already abroad, it was the next step of the previous one. You know, someone proposed me to go work there and I was happy and I just, so the first idea in general to go abroad, I wanted to try something new. And I knew that I want to follow the academia, and I knew that academia in Greece is not so well paid. and you have to do, second job. Yes. Still, for example, in Czech Republic, is the things are much better than in Greece, but it's still I meet all the time students in my company because it's a research company, and they still, they have to do their PhD and work at the same time because the money for academia there are never enough. So yeah, it was a kind of combination that I want to go out, meet new people, but also the budget part, the economic part. Yes, and I never regret, at least till now, with all this experience I took from abroad. Yes, yes. So that's it was just to meet something new and to practice English because they are very useful for all the type of job everywhere. Yes, yes.
How old were
Okay.
you when you first left, like your home country or your hometown?
Yeah, so now I'm 26. I left it was 2024, let's say. Yes, when I first left. So I'm 2 years abroad now, and now I'm going to the third one.
You went to France?
Yes, yes, I was in Paris at first. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what did you study there?
So I continue the physics I did in Greece, and it was more specified in Paris. It was biophysics, and it was a kind of continuing of my studies in Greece because I studied pure physics there, but I wanted to switch to bio in order. My purpose was to work on treatment later. To do some research for treatment reasons. So that was the first point, and yes.
And what's your situation with the languages? Because you've lived in France where they speak French. You've lived in Czech Republic. What languages do you speak, and what has it been like navigating life in different languages?
Yes, so that's a nice question. Especially like so I speak the Greek and English, and I had a degree in French, but I had a long time to practice it actually. So it was a bit difficult in start in France with the language. But the thing that I knew from before, some things make it easier. So with practice, now I start to understand more and more, and yeah, I think I will get advanced now that I will be back again. With Slavic languages this year, it was very, very difficult to can communicate because it's, the contrast is too far, right? So with Czech, I had some Czech in my company. I did some Czech. Prosím. But yeah, it's very difficult to to get adapted. But I know many people. They are from US. They are from all around the world, and by staying there for years, they can speak Czech now. So if you want something, I think you can do it. Yes.
So you didn't know any Czech before you went to live in Prague and work in Prague?
No, zero. And it's even very far from French, right? And English, and the accent is different. Everything is different. Yes, yes. But in Czech Republic, people I met, at least they're very, very friendly, and they want to explain to you, and they're really in Prague, because Czech Republic is not only Prague. We know Prague because there most international people goes, but in Prague the people who are there exactly is international, so everything there is adapted to it, so things are not so difficult.
So you had no issues like speaking English with like other Czech people? Like, did they know English?
Yes, in Prague, in the center, most of the people I met, they know English, and if they don't know, they try, to speak with some movements, and my company is pure international company. Like, for example, my manager is Czech, but other people are from around the world, so it's not 100% Czech company. So the main language is in English. So it's fine for me. Yes. To be honest, in France, the environment was more difficult. They had more they willing you to speak French than in Czech Republic Czech. That was what I felt.
I was going to ask because I know maybe it's stereotypical, but I feel like French people don't really like to speak English, or at least when I was in France, I had kind of issues trying to speak English with their people. How was your experience?
Yes, yes. And you know, if you are in a cafe, for example, or in a restaurant, it's fine. You will communicate. They will understand what you want somehow. But the biggest thing is in public, public services. For example, your electricity stuff, internet. So there, if it's for a payment or something, you want to communicate. You want to understand what the others say, and it's very significant, and you cannot have this many times in France, for example. In Prague, for example, I mean, you know, this is some other person who met something different, perhaps say to you something different, but as I experienced it, for example, in electricity companies, they have English line was perfect. I could communicate in English easily. So yes, I think this is how native people, they want to how to say, they want to reproduce again and again their languages in order to exist in the same level, because you know, if you stop speak Czech in Prague, after 2 generations, for example, anyone could, or more international people come inside, they will use to English more and more. So I don't know if this is bad for you that you go there, but is also good for the same for the country, to don't forget to speak your language. That I try to say. Yes.
What some big culture shocks were that you noticed in between the 3 countries that you've lived in so far?
So okay, so in Greece, my native, my country, I mean, there is the sea, right? So the culture and everything is related to vacation, summer. This is I mean the daily, and how the people like to be there because of this mostly. In France, about culture in France, I mean, the people, I mean, you know, they have some specific program schedule during the week. For example, during the in Sunday, they will meet all together, eat all together, between families. And I like this, that they have everything is on schedule. And for example, during week, the people will not go a lot outside to have drinks and something, but during weekend you will see everyone outside. And almost everyone follow this. Even the bars, for example, and the restaurants, during week, they're not open till late. And in Czech Republic, culture is beers. Czech people, they are so used to drink beers everywhere for 10 in the morning. And what I like a lot in Czech Republic, it was like I see all the ages being out and dance, like even like couples that they're like 50, 60 years old, they're outside dancing non-stop. So it's not this separation. If we are young, we will go out to party. If you are not young, you have to stay home. Yes, it was really impressed me this in Czech Republic. Yes.
I have noticed. Did you ever like envision your life to be like this? Like, did you plan, you know, that you wanted to go abroad to work or study, or did it just somehow like happen by itself?
I think I start dream about this when I was the last 2 years in the university in Greece, because I have some friends and some relatives they were already in France, and I knew that the academy in France was really good. There are very good schools, and in general, they have a huge influence in research. And yeah, after the idea came, I started searching about different master programs, and I found some programs I really like. So I say, why not? If I have this opportunity to go, why not? So yeah, it comes the last years of the university. Before, no, I didn't have any idea about this, and I want to refer here that is very significant, I think, for schools and universities, and in general educational inside the education system, to to can give some information to university students, and um, like people who have the opportunity or they want to go outside abroad, to can be informed correctly, because everything is about information. It's people, they have no idea, and they're so good student, for example, and they don't know the ticket, the passport to go outside, because they don't know where they have to apply. Yeah, and this is very different from country to country. For example, I have some classmates from Vietnam, and they were full informed about everything, and they came to us and say, this year, for example, we have to do these documents. And I'm like, how you know all about all of this administration? And they're like, in the last 2 years of the university, informed us exactly about how we have to come and do these things here, so the life was easier for them. Yeah, and I want to refer this because I think it's really significant to share this, like to be in the education system, in the universities, like inform the people. We are living in a so, how to say, international people traveling all the time around. Students wants to go abroad, explore. This is a kind of nowadays very common, right? So it's good for students to be informed, like to know more and more things.
Yeah, definitely. Was that decision easy for you though, to just like decide to go abroad and that was it, or did you have to like think about it? Were you maybe a little bit scared, or was it just like easy, you were ready to go?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I think this kind of psychology pass from different levels. Like you're not, how sometimes you're happy you're abroad, some other times you miss your own country, you miss your home. And I think the starting point, like the first year, for example, is the most difficult, because you are really how to say, not flirting, but you are really thinking about why I leave home and I'm abroad, why. And so I think uh, every time you have something to lose and something to gain. To be far from home, for sure, it will be sometimes a bit um how to say, you don't have the same pleasure to be with your, close to your culture, close to everything you were used to, right? But in this age specifically, because I separate in my mind how, for example, where you want to stay when you are 35, for example, or 34, and you want to be somewhere stable and not traveling all the time. Not all the people think the same, of course, but as I have it in my mind now that we are young, is an opportunity, and if we don't do it now, we will never do it. So this make me have more motivation, and really make me to love to be abroad. Loving means to give opportunity to new people, to new things that you can meet when you're abroad. For example, I have some activistic team now in Prague, and I'm coming more in contact with activism. And I really like this because, for example, in Greece, we didn't have so much activism as in Prague. So yes, all of this I think is you have to think that something you gain, something you lose. But if you want to ask me the overview, I really loved, and I will not exchange it now with nothing, that I went abroad, because 2 years before I was different person. Like all these experiences, I think you cannot have all these different experiences if you just stay in your own country. And yes.
You briefly mentioned it before about like being far away from family and friends, and that's difficult. So how do you work on maintaining those relationships?
Yes, yes. As we already intro. Yeah, sometimes it's hard. I say that you really can keep some good friendships you have from your country. And I mean, there is where you see that where who is the good friend, because actually the good friends are there to for us, to support us, and even if we are from far, not just to go out and have fun, right? Because they really care for us, and they really want to learn about our news. So it's actually, in this part is good, because I really keep people who are so close to me, and we really have love for each other. But yeah, sometimes you miss them. Like, this is kind of you cannot avoid this if you have long time to see someone. But yeah, that I want to refer is that when you were back in your country, for example, you were younger and you have some conditions. For example, you were in a university with some friends, and after this university, is not all the people stay in the same city, because everyone want to follow his dream. So other people go inside abroad in Europe, or other people perhaps they go out of Europe, and everyone try to and to build his own career. So the thing that I all the time think and make me feel that this is just life, is that we grow up, and if I was back, for example, in my city, from my friends, it would be one or two friends there, because all the other left. Because yeah, that's how we grow up. Yes, this helped me a lot to feel that we just grew up, and it's not that me I left from there and everyone is there in the same condition. It's just the conditions change, right? Because sometimes we think this and say, oh, my friends, but is anyone in the same city, same place, right? So, and this actually happened to me before I went to France once. I was even in Greece, but my university finished, and I left this university city for one, like, half year, something like that. And I just came back for 4 months. I was in Greece, even Greece, but I came back to the same city, and because my friends left, it was like it's another city. I had so great time before when we were all together, the same people, and I was even in Greece, and I felt that I am abroad. Like, how to say this? It's like people who make the place. So it's also this, if you are somewhere. I mean, if you change every year location, yeah, that's very difficult, because it's like you have to do effort again and again. But if you are abroad, for example, and 2-3 years you stay in a place, or after you change, like, you also can have a good environment there. It's not only in your country. You can have a good friends. But yeah, that's, I mean, is I think it's very good to keep your good contacts from your country, like childhood friends, very good friends. But also to think about this and give opportunity to yourself to really meet different people with different cultures. And yes.
Yeah. But how do you said yourself that like you move quite often, or at least these last couple of times. How is it to move so often from one country to another country?
Yes. So last year I moved 2 times, because my master degree was in Paris, but I found a lab I want to work in different city, which is also new, because you are in France, but you have to do new friends. So it's like you change actually country. So it was because of work. It was because I found a very good lab. So I say, okay, it was also the first time. And after my master, I wanted to find PhD actually, but PhD is kind of slow to come if you want to choose what you really want. And so I wanted to find a job after, till to find the PhD I want, till the time I find the PhD I want. So this job from Czech Republic, it came very early. It is a very good company. So it was about timing, actually. It was not, I didn't want to leave the time pass, because I wanted to start having experience directly, because the things now in companies and in general are very strict. All of the people, they want you to have many years experience when you are 24, which is actually not possible. I mean, it's a bit impossible. A person at his 24 to have 4 years experience. Like, he has to be from in a company from when he was a child. So the things are a bit strict like that. So yeah, it was a good opportunity, and I felt that I would be very quickly independent by following the same field from what I study. So I say, instead of staying and wait for a job that it will come perhaps in 3 days, perhaps in 1 year or 6 months, let's go there. Is a good opportunity, and I didn't regret, even if I did all of this move, because now I'm more fluent to many things. Like, I worked in a company, like, and I see how it's to cooperate in more professional way, because also to be a student and to work in a company is a bit different. It's not so far, but it's a bit different. So in the end, it was a good experience. But now I say that I want to stay somewhere for at least 3-4 years. Because it needs effort again and again to make an environment, make new friends. So I think is good at some point, but you get tired at some other point. So it's good to move, but I think as human, we need sometimes to be stable. I met people who actually move all the time because their job are like that, and I ask them, are you happy? And they say no, because we don't have our quiet zone. Our friends are like, we are like splitted everywhere. So everyone is different, but for me, like, now is the time to stay somewhere for some years.
Yeah.
So yeah, the PhD came, and at least I know I will stay for 3-4 years somewhere. Yes, and after we see. It's a bit tiring in general, but I mean, it's a bit tiring, but also you have new experiences. Yes, but it's not to do it forever, for sure. At least from my point of view, it's like, first, you don't have I mean, to have good friends and to have a good environment, you have to spend time on it, right? The friends, they don't come, and you are good friends from the first day. So you need this time, and I think people who they don't really know you, they cannot make you happy. You cannot make them really happy. It's just you spend time on them, go out for a drink. This is not like a very deep relationship. And yes, it's good to have people who we can really communicate in our life. So I think this needs time. So in that point, it's good to stay, I think, longer somewhere, not just move all the time.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
I have a more like practical question connected to this. How much, or like how many things do you transport from one place to another, and how?
You mean the luggage? Okay, yeah, it's difficult as well. Yeah, we're blessed that transfer companies exist. Yeah, so they can help you. But it's difficult and it's costly. Every time you cannot transfer from a country, or even in the same country, city to city, all of your stuff. Like, for example, only the kitchen stuff, which is very expensive, like your plates, everything. So you have to buy, when you go somewhere, you have to buy new, right? Also, you have to give to rent, you have to give deposit, you have to give all of this money. I mean, for renting a new house. So this is also a big disadvantage for moving all the time. Yes. So yeah, that's a disadvantage for sure. And so yeah, practically the moving is transfer companies. If you, for example, now that I will move to France, I will take transfer company to help me because I have a lot of stuff in Prague. Yes. So it's, I mean, the bad thing is costing. That's the thing. and it's tiring for you, right? Because you have to, all of this energy is not for all the time.
Yeah, I can
But
imagine.
it's also that how to say, you are I think, as I saw, that you are doing your master, like you're still student.
Bachelor. We're doing bachelor.
You're doing bachelor, yes. So is also that I wanted to say is also that you don't know what it will come. For example, you don't want to move, but a nice master degree or a nice, I don't know, job opportunity come in Berlin, for example, with a very good salary. You see your environment, the people who will you will cooperate are looks pretty nice, at least in the start point of view, because people, they looks nice in the start, but in after perhaps they are not. So yeah, we don't have to trust everyone. So yes, you will say, I don't want to move, but this is a good opportunity. And when you are young, you want to take, I mean, your CV, you want to try to take more and more knowledge, more and more experience, in order to achieve your goal at some point. And yeah, this is always a kind of how to say, you have to find a balance, because you don't have to achieve your goal and lose yourself. So you have to really think the things, and sometimes you don't have choice, with the meaning that perhaps this job come, but you don't have another proposition at this time. But you don't want to go to your family house and spend half year there, so in your CV is half year empty. So it's like many parameters. Yes, yes. And you never know exactly what it will come. I think especially in the start, because I mean, after 4 or 5 years, when you have experience, you will have many choices. You will say, I want to go there and do this, and people, they will say yes, come, because you will be very useful for them. But in the start, till to achieve to be very useful, you have to a bit go with the flow. Yes. Of course, like, you have to see your what you have and choose, but yeah. So the thing that you change all the time is comes also with this, like, what I have to do, have I to do this for my experience. Yes, so it's many parameters.
Yeah, that makes sense. And do you maybe have like one favorite thing about each place that you lived in, like each country that you lived in?
Okay. For my country, I have to go there for vacation and spend 1 month in a tent in some island, and be disconnected for all social media and everything. And yes, this, I think, is very significant, to really sometimes you find your own peace and be disconnected. And about France, I like the people I met here, actually. Because somehow it's like very, at least in my environment, in the lab I work, like, the people are very expect that they want to speak to you in French after this. So they're very kind, like, they're very they put all of their energy or what they do. And they, for example, I find a lot of activists also in France, that are people who take care of many social phenomena. And the way that they communicate with you, and they're a very kind person. I don't know how to express, like, they don't think the bad for you. They are in another level of thinking to do things that are kind, like, for example, uh, except for going out, having beers, they have some new ideas, like, for example, playing some games that they will connect us, and um, doing some others, going for a walk. They also love nature, like. So what I like here is doing different things with the friends I had here, and be kind to each other. I never had the kind of bad experience, like, yeah, this that's, and they kind of want to know about your spiritual thinking, about the different topics of discussion. For example, what you believe to this and this is not just daily things. For example, also, they're very more open mind from what it was in Greece, at least from my experience. To many things like LGBTQ communities and stuff. So yes, I liked in France that I found a kind of different level of discussion, communication with the people, which is out of the basic. It's like you go one level more, and this is because we know the basic here. So let's go to another level. Let's discuss about activism. Let's discuss about we don't face up like daily problems, which is, for example, that like, I don't know, like things like, for example, that how to say, not that for example, sexism and patriarchy doesn't exist in France, and social problems doesn't exist, of course, but at least in a kind of academia community, the discussion is out of this. So I really like this. I cannot say I like the food in France, comparable to the prices. In contrast, this with Prague in Czech Republic, I love the food. You, and as I know, yes, you have also your own products there. For example, your own animals and stuff in North Czech Republic, some areas, as they told me. And yeah, I like the food in Czech Republic, and sometimes it's very heavy. And what I like a lot also, the last one I like in Czech Republic, is that the people are more cool there in the environment, for example, in the work environment. For example, in France, they're a bit more strict. They will check you more. In Czech Republic, once you are doing your task, once you are like, they know that you are working, you are not at home and chill, they will not overpress you. So I like the human base I met in Czech Republic. And I think in some countries it's missing. Like they have some technical companies, you have some technical companies, but it's still, for example, I was discussing with my manager, and I said to him that I met a lot of nerd people in my master degree in France, and some discussions we have, it was out of, like, they say to me just clearly, we didn't have life, we just study all of these years. So and my manager say, yes, is what we want to avoid here, like to don't over be too technical, too much how to say, studying and don't have life and this. So in Czech Republic, I like this a lot. That is more cool. It is more like human, Yeah.
Now I want to ask, where do you feel most at home right now?
Okay. Surely in Greece. I feel home because I know I know everything there. So yes, so this, but I don't want to go to Greece to work. Like, I like that I'm still in France with the conditions that follow the job and the PhD I will do. So I start seeing more practical, except for the emotional, where I feel more home, is also the practical. So of course, home is, I feel always Greece. I feel home when I go there, but I after trying and after thinking many things, I don't feel that I am very far from home if I am, for example, in France, or even in Prague, because I get adapted to it now. So I'm happy. I'm still happy there. So I don't have big problem to like be somewhere else for now, at least for some years. But if you want to ask me when I really feel home, of course, when I go back home, yes, always. Yeah, I think
And where do you envision yourself living in maybe 10 years?
I don't want to leave Europe, to be honest, because I had some discussion with some other like friends. They want to go US. Me, I want to be at least in Europe because I don't find the reason to be so far from home. Like to want to something happen or to want to go back. For example, if you are in Europe, you can go back home at 2 hours, right? You just book a flight, and you always have the money because you are for that you are abroad from your country, or like it's a reason that you are abroad, that you be also very flexible to money, so you all the time can book flights if something happened to go back home or something, like, or even to visit, right? Like if you want to do vacation 3 times per year, you have vacation days, you can go. So I don't want to go out of Europe, that's for sure, for me at least, to stay there. I think if I have a choice, and I mean I have a thinking when I will be, it will be between France and Greece. In 10 years, I accept, if I mean you never know, but in between these countries now that I'm thinking, I will be happy too. And in France, that I like is I start to understand the language now, like better, because I had, as I said before, I knew from before French somehow. So I mean, when you understand the language from where you are, it's pretty cool, right? You go to a supermarket, you understand, and you go somewhere else, you understand. So yeah. So I see France, like if I be in a level to really speak French in 1-2 years, it will be very easy. Yeah. But from my experience, like you really don't know what it comes, like from year to year. That's I for sure want to plan to at least not moving all the time in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like to stay at least somewhere and be more stable.
Yeah, I understand. Completely.
Yes, after this discussion, I would like to ask you about your point of view, but it's not this interview. We will be like,
Okay.
Yeah, I think from our side, those were all the questions we have for you. So thank you very much.
Thank you for coming and answering all of our questions.
Thank you. Very nice and to the point questions. That's like someone who will be abroad can think, and I think it's like some the people who already don't have the experience. I think it's very, very helpful for them, like because you want someone who passed this to tell you what it comes to him, and of course every experience it will not be exactly the same, but I think it's very useful to at least to hear other point of views, to don't feel alone sometimes. Yes.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
Book club. What have you been reading?
Not much. I think I already talked about this in the last episode. I finally finished all my summer books, and now I've been reading Happy Place, which I'm hoping is going to be one of those books.
How many pages are you in?
Not much. I think like 30. But I also haven't had a lot of time. But, I mean, so far it's not going well. But I still have hope that it's really going to just capture me.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I promised...
I'm very jealous of her at this point.
I promised I would talk about The Robber Bride, right?
Yeah, just...
Okay,
mention it real quick.
The story about this book is that I watched Margaret Atwood's masterclass last year. I don't know. Last academic year.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I love her. She's really nice, really smart. And so I was like, I need to read one of her books so I can like learn from her writing, not only from the course, but from an actual book. So what I did was I asked my dad to give me one of her books for Christmas in general. And since I knew what I was getting, I was like, just choose a book, so at least there's some surprise, you know. And he gave me The Robber Bride. And I started reading it in the summer because I just couldn't get to it yet. And then in the summer, I was like, this is the perfect time to read it. So I started reading it, and I just have really mixed feelings about it because after I finished it, I do feel like the story is good. Like the idea behind the story. It's just the way it's written, like to me, it was so unnecessarily long because it's about, I think, 3, technically 4, like friends, or not even, it's about 3 friends and then one more woman that did weird things. And so in the beginning there was like small part like about something like, you know, all of them were together and whatever, and then there were like these huge 3 parts explaining basically the whole life story of these 3 friends. But for each of them it was like 150 pages, and so it was like interesting to read about their lives, but it's like if you're reading 4 different books, you know. And I didn't really know what's going on. I was like, why are you explaining everything this like to me about these characters, and like how does it play together? And like at the end I understand how, but it's, to me, it was really just like unnecessary, and there were so many details to every little thing.
It was very descriptive, right?
Yeah, which I know it's good to be descriptive when you're writing so you can like see the things in your head, but for me it was just too much. Like it was really annoying and frustrating at some point because I was like, just tell me the point. Like I just want to know the point. So honestly, I wouldn't really recommend this book because I was struggling with it a lot. But
and that's the sad truth.
Yeah. I don't know, and it makes me sad because I feel
Margaret. Like you really wanted to like it.
Yeah, I really did. But maybe I just have to read one of her like other books because this one is from the year 94. So maybe, and it was published in 94, so it might be even like older because she did in the course she did talk about like struggling with it in the beginning, thinking about publishing under like a male pseudonym. I think maybe she even did. I don't know. So maybe I'll just read one of her like newer ones and see if I like that. But I really struggled with it. And as we said, we both really wanted something to like pull us in. And so I started reading Malibu Rising by, what's her name?
Taylor Jenkins
Reid, because I already read Days of June on the 6th from her. And Lauren has another book from her. So I borrowed it and I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed with the story, with the characters. You know, it kind of gives me the vibe of Days of June and the 6th in the sense, I mean, like the vibe of it in general, and then also like the way I'm thinking about the characters and the story, even if I'm not reading, which I love. It's like if you're watching a reality TV show because, you know, these people are real, and so then you're like thinking about their stories, and it happens the same with the book, which is amazing. I love it. It's like complex, but I can like relate to the stories or like topics that are in the book, and I really love it. And I'm reading it so fast. I have very little pages left, so I'll just finish it. And I don't know what I'm gonna do next though.
Read the next one.
You have a next one?
No, but somebody does. I think Sophia does, or Laura does, or somebody will have it.
Okay, yeah. And have you been watching anything?
I watched one movie called Sitting at a Bar with Cakes, I think. Sitting in Bars with Cake. Which I thought, I just wanted like something to watch while I was eating dinner, basically. And I thought it was going to be, I don't know, like rom-com comedy type of situation. And it just turned out to be the most heartbreaking thing not the most heartbreaking thing I've ever watched, but incredibly heartbreaking. And I don't know, I mean, the basic plot is that this one girl, well, they're 2 friends, and the one friend convinces the other friend, because she's really good at baking, to, I forgot the exact number, but they set a goal of like, I'm gonna go to 30 bars with 30 different cakes, and she's kind of trying to get to like know people. Like she's trying like romantically, I guess.
Okay.
That's the goal. But it turns out to absolutely not be about that, and it's just, I mean, it is about that, but it's kind of just the I don't think we say that in English. Rotafada. Like, it's just the kind of basis, and then another layer, another storyline is built on top of that. But it just kind of keeps it all together, that one storyline. And it's beautiful. Yeah. I would recommend that, I think.
Yeah.
But not if you want a romantic comedy. Because it's not a romantic comedy.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think I watched anything this past week. Just yesterday, I finally started watching Gilmore Girls again. Because I was thinking about, like, which show do I want to rewatch this semester? Because every semester, I just, like, rotate in between, like, my staples, my favorites. Yeah. Exactly. But I don't know. I just couldn't decide. I was like, oh, so do I want to, like, start watching a show? Because now I've been doing well with, like, listening to podcasts when I'm cooking or things like that, and I was like, that's probably quote unquote like better than watching a series, which it's not. It's fine. Like both of these things are fine to do. Yeah. I just don't want, because like Gilmore Girls have like around 40-minute long episodes, and so then when I'm eating and I eat for maybe 15 minutes. 5 minutes.
That's what honestly. I do. I look for a whole movie in order to enjoy my meal, and then in 5 minutes I'm done.
Exactly, and then. Obviously, I want to, like, finish the episode, But I'll just start, like, what is it called? Like, turning it off.
Yeah.
And,
I guess that's the good thing about podcasts. It's kind of easier to just
I mean, I guess it depends, too. Because I'm the type of person when I'm like, I need to finish this, blah, blah, blah. And I do it even with podcasts. Yeah. So, that's the issue. But, yeah, nothing special. I mean, I love Gilmore Girls. And I feel like the fall is, like, the best season when to watch it, so I did start watching it again, and I love it. So that's it. So thank you for listening,
Christina.
Song of the week. I do this every time, but I remembered fast. Okay,
you remembered it yourself, yeah.
Honestly, I just have 5 seconds of summer songs.
Yeah, it's gonna be that.
It is
for me, yeah.
Which one did you choose?
Carousel. Carousel.
Nice.
Because I liked that song before the concert, and now I'm obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. That always happens to me with concerts. Like, I go in with different favorites, then I go out, and this song, I loved it live. I love it so much.
I was tempted to choose their song, but I already said one last week, and I could just go every week.
I think I said one last week too, right? I think I said Bad Omens.
Really?
Well, if I didn't, then Bad Omens also deserves a shout out.
I mean, all of their songs deserve a shout out. But I'm gonna go with Never Get Over You by Mikolas Josef, which is a Czech guy, but he does music in English too. I don't know if he does music in Czech, honestly. Well, he does some English music for sure. And this song, I did not expect it. Like, I don't listen to him. I saved a song a couple weeks back, or maybe even months back, and I liked it, and this one is even better, so go check him out. It's a really nice song. And now that's it. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
If you want to get in touch, you can find all of our information in the description below.